The opposition leader Peter Dutton is arriving in Alice Springs, where he'll be ramping up his campaign against The Voice and the government's approach to the Northern Territory community in crisis. Live now to our Sky News reporter Joel Philp. Joel, what's the Liberal leader up to today? What are we expecting to see?
Well, Ash, he's now on the ground in Alice Springs alongside the Northern Territory's country Liberal Senator Jacinta Price. And so he's going to be assessing how things have changed in Alice Springs in the 6 months since he last visited there, after which he called for a royal commission into the sexual abuse of children in Indigenous communities. He's going to be visiting small businesses there and sporting facilities, giving him some context as to what is happening on the ground ahead of the next sitting period of Parliament. And he's also staring down the barrel of a ministerial reshuffle, needing to fill that shadow portfolio for Indigenous Australians after the departure of Julian Leeser from the front bench, who left that role because he wanted to pursue yes at the upcoming referendum for an Indigenous voice to Parliament, but he's going to spend the next six weeks campaigning against Labor's version of it.
I want to see changes to The Voice. Clearly, that's what I'm going to be spending the next 6 weeks on. I'm going to be seeing changes to. I want to see changes to remove the second clause, which relates to advising executive government, which relates to advising matters in relation to Indigenous people, to removing the symbolic language from the provision. Yeah. I think that's important because I think those are the things that are preventing Australians from voting yes.
And as he said there, those so-called barnacles include the second clause, which references The Voice having the constitutionally enshrined power not just to consult with Parliament, but also the executive government, a key sticking point for him and for many other members of the Liberal Party. More broadly speaking, now, the acting Prime Minister, Penny Wong, is defending the language which Labor has proposed for the upcoming referendum.
If we look to our history, much of what we would now say were some of the wrong decisions that governments took in relation to First Nations peoples and communities were taken by executive governments. We're not seeking perfection, but we are seeking progress. And we know that progress is much more likely if people are part of it.
So Peter Dutton will be holding a press conference about 2:30 this afternoon, Canberra time, 1 p.m. in Alice Springs time. And of course, these issues of how best to support Indigenous Australians, they are really the key issues dominating politics right now. So we'll see how those stories develop today. Ash?